Out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize.
Something about Jake Paul's opponents is starting to look straight up bizarre. He's gone up against around 13 people, and somehow almost every single one of them has faced some kind of serious downfall right after. We're talking about 2 near-death incidents, 1 tragic car crash, and a bunch of others whose lives have completely spiraled in just 4 years. That can't just be coincidence, right? Now here's where it gets wild. Anthony Joshua just got into a major crash in Nigeria only 10 days after facing Jake. People online are losing it, saying this feels way too strange to be random. Some are even digging up those old moments when Kanye talked about sacrifices in the industry, and suddenly the whole thing sounds way darker than it should. A few are whispering that maybe Anthony's accident wasn't by chance at all, that it might have been a warning or something deeper, especially since rumors claim he didn't stick to the plan and refused to let Jake take the win. It gets even darker from here. There's this wild theory floating online claiming that Anthony supposedly sold his soul, and that the 2 friends who tragically died in the crash were part of some sort of sacrifice. People online aren't holding back with their takes. They're even drawing eerie comparisons to that accident last year involving former UFC champ Francis Ngannou, which also happened in Nigeria and sadly took the life of a 17-year-old girl. The pattern has everyone seriously unsettled. But here's the part that's got the internet losing it.
Anthony Joshua was not supposed to make it out of that car crash. That car crash was absolutely done to end his life. That was deliberately done. But when things like that are deliberately done, there have to be other people involved, other casualties involved to make it look like an accident.
Jake Paul is now out here saying he wants to fight in Ghana next. Like what? So now everyone's asking the same thing. What's really happening here? Was Anthony Joshua's crash just a freak accident? Or is there something much darker creeping around Jake Paul's fights? Social media is absolutely losing control over this. Theories are stacking up faster than ever, and tons of people are starting to believe this wasn't just some random twist of fate at all. Let me show you just how wild some of these takes have gotten. People online are straight up saying Anthony didn't follow the script and is now being targeted. Some claim he's been marked because Netflix is supposedly tied to some secret industry group, and that the plan was for Anthony Joshua, the big name boxer, to lose as part of some dark ritual. They're even comparing it to what happened with Ngannou, saying it all lines up too perfectly. But here's where it gets even more suspicious. Folks who watched the crash footage are saying it looked way too staged. Anthony barely had a scratch, which only fueled the theories more. Some are convinced he went off script, and the powerful people behind the scenes supposedly wanted to send a message. The fact that he survived, according to them, was pure luck. Now they're whispering that he might face something else soon, something that'll make him regret stepping out of line. But then again, others are twisting it even further, saying maybe this whole thing wasn't even aimed at Anthony himself. Things are getting seriously wild out here. Now here's where the rumors take an even darker turn. Some people online are claiming that Anthony supposedly agreed to sacrifice his 2 close friends who tragically died in that crash. One fan even wrote, "I think everyone's missing the point. I don't think Anthony Joshua was meant to die. I think he had to pay the price of a sacrifice from people he loved in order to make that money or whatever." That comment alone sent social media into a frenzy. People are now dragging that old sacrifice theory right back into the spotlight, the same one Kanye talked about years ago. He once claimed that his own mother, Donda, was sacrificed for his success, and even went on to name several other industry figures who supposedly lost someone close in exchange for fame and fortune. Now everyone's wondering if history is repeating itself in a new chilling way. Now fans are giving serious side-eye to everything surrounding Anthony Joshua's crash, wondering if it somehow fits that same eerie pattern everyone's been whispering about.
It all makes sense now. The sacrifice symbol live and direct.
Nothing about this situation is sitting right with people. When it comes to the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight, the whole thing felt off from the very beginning. That match didn't play out the way anyone expected, and not even close. The footage looks strange too, with AJ clearly pulling his punches left, right, and center. In those early rounds, it almost looked like he was trying to take Jake down carefully, like he didn't really want to hurt him for real. And then there's that one moment that's got everyone replaying the clip non-stop. The instant AJ broke Jake's jaw. Instead of pain, Jake looked completely shocked, eyes wide, almost frozen, while Joshua stood there grinning, almost laughing, staring right back like he knew something the rest of us didn't. Fans can't stop talking about it, saying the whole exchange didn't look normal at all. It looked like something way deeper was going on. It honestly looked like the moment someone realized the whole script just got flipped on its head. Now everyone's asking if that fight was supposed to be another stage showbiz setup where Jake walks away the winner, and if maybe Anthony was paid ahead of time to take the fall. But what if at the very last second he decided to flip the script and teach Jake a lesson instead? That's what people are starting to believe, and the theories are spreading fast. To make things even wilder, there's now a clip making the rounds online that supposedly shows Jake warning AJ to stick to the script or else. Fans are losing it over that one. And with that, all the talk about the so-called Jake Paul curse is back in full force. People have been saying for a while that strange things keep happening to his opponents, and when you realize he's fought about 13 people and way too many of them ended up facing serious trouble afterward, it starts sounding a little too creepy to ignore. The list of strange things tied to Jake Paul's opponents just keeps getting longer and scarier. Mike Tyson almost lost his life right before their fight. Reports say he needed 8 blood transfusions after losing nearly half his blood from a bleeding ulcer, spending weeks in the hospital. Then there's Nate Robinson, who basically vanished from the spotlight right after his match with Jake. Ben Askren nearly died too, suffering from lung failure, while Tyron Woodley went from being one of the biggest names in fighting to publicly declaring bankruptcy not long after. And it doesn't stop there. Tommy Fury's entire life seemed to crash down, his marriage broke apart, his career took a nosedive, and fans say he hasn't looked the same since. Then you've got Ryan Borland, who ditched boxing altogether and started working as a plumber instead. To top it off, people are now pointing at all the bizarre symbolism surrounding Jake Paul himself. His tattoos have everyone talking. A massive all-seeing eye inked on his chest, surrounded by skulls, demons, and cryptic symbols tied to dark or occult meanings. Fans say it's giving off serious Illuminati vibes, and it's only making the whole situation feel even stranger. And then there's that weird tongue thing Jake Paul does in almost every single fight. People can't stop talking about it.
My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Nietzsche.
You understand?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son. You're out in Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize.
Someone on X said, remember that most recent Jake Paul fight at the end when he did that lizard tongue thing toward Joshua? Yeah, that was Jake symbolizing to Joshua that he'll have to answer to the reptilian elites later. That post blew up fast and the comments went wild. Another person added, quote, call me crazy, but this whole Anthony Joshua situation felt like someone was reminding him who really pulls the strings. Fans are now convinced that the fight was more than just a match. They say it was filled with hidden signals, weird gestures, and coded communication. The tongue thing, the reactions, even the way the camera lingered, people think it all meant something deeper. Some believe someone behind the scenes might have lost serious money and that this was their way of sending a message. And if that wasn't strange enough, the number 33 keeps popping up everywhere. Apparently the fight was viewed by 33 million people, and it just so happened to be Anthony Joshua's 33rd professional match. Fans say that number isn't random at all, and it's only making the mystery even creepier. Here's something that's got everyone's attention. Anthony's professional record stands at 29 wins and 4 losses. Add that up, and what do you get? 33. So why does that number keep showing up everywhere? Sure, sometimes a number might just be a number, but people who follow these patterns say when it comes to how the elites really operate, nothing is ever just a coincidence. Fans are convinced there's a hidden meaning here that's too strange to ignore. Now the big question everyone's stuck on is this: what really happened to Anthony Joshua? Was that car crash just an awful random tragedy? Or was it something way darker? Some people are dead certain it was a warning. a message sent because Anthony supposedly went off script and didn't play his part the way he was supposed to. Others believe it was meant to be far worse, that maybe it was supposed to take his life completely as punishment for embarrassing the wrong people on such a massive stage. The theories just keep piling up and no one knows what to believe anymore. And then comes the most chilling theory of them all. The idea that Anthony might have done exactly what Kanye once claimed happens deep inside the industry. Some people think he sacrificed those closest to him in exchange for power, success, or even protection. It sounds absolutely wild, but when you line up the timing, the strange coincidences, and the repeating patterns, it's no wonder people online are spiraling right now. Still, maybe, and just maybe, it's not that deep. Maybe people are overanalyzing the whole situation, turning tragedy into conspiracy. What if this was simply a horrible accident that just happened to occur days after AJ's fight with Jake Paul? Could all of this really be random? Or is there something darker moving behind the scenes that we just can't see yet? What do you think? Is this all part of something way bigger? Or are people completely losing their minds trying to connect dots that were never really there? Drop your thoughts down in the comments, hit that like, subscribe, and share button to keep the convo going, and I'll catch you in the next one.